Hello, Libras, lovely, lovely Libras. Excuse the setup. I'm gonna do my best with it. I'm on a different angle, I'm on a different surface. Hopefully, it's gonna be better for my shoulders and my neck, so I'm not hunching forwards over my cards all the time. It's a work in progress, it's a work of art. I'm doing it on this bare surface today. It's a very old piece of furniture. It's got coffee stains and watermarks all over it, bits of paint, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much. I know some people will be like, oh, you should sand it and varnish it, but I like it. I like the rustic, messy look of it. I like old things. I like things that aren't perfect. Humanitarian, like, what can I say? I studied humanities at university. I like things that are old and have a story, like me, which you'll understand why I'm saying that in a minute. I'm still moving a few things around, and I'm doing what we've been told to do. Libras, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know we keep getting messages like tidy out your cupboards, clear out the clutter, like be at home, do all those boring things that you don't want to do. So I've been doing them. And I think I've done something because the universe seems to be doing something. I don't know. The messages that have been coming through for the Libra reading for Monday feel very personal to me. I am a Libra. I have Libra Venus. Do you see this? I'm gonna have to keep on standing up and sitting down again. I hope you can see this okay. Again, lighting is different and everything, so I'm still playing around with it. Look, and they're in the water. I haven't seen this one. Right, I'm getting excited because there's something about water. Oh, you'll see in a second when I start telling you. So yeah, bear with me if you feel like this isn't resonating. If you want to go straight to the cards, just kind of skip ahead on the video until I start like pulling out the cards. But we've got a big story time. It's probably going to be another long reading, so get your coffee. I've had mine already. I ran out of coffee and I've not even started. Right, I'm going to stop waffling, but just so you know, there's a lot of stuff in here that's definitely resonating with me. So whether it resonates with you as well, all the Libras, it may play out differently for us. The details may not be the same, but the overall message, the metaphors could be the same for us. So we'll see how we go. The first song that I got through as I started receiving messages for Libra was Afterglow by Ed Sheeran. I got it so strongly, it was really stuck in my head. No, I won't, specific lines. So no, I won't be. No, I won't be silent and I won't let go. I will hold on tight till the afterglow. To the afterglow. Something about the darkness disappears and I will hold on to the afterglow. Afterglow is obviously a reference to a pleasant time with somebody. So, take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. But yeah, I won't be silent and I won't let go. It was coming through quite strongly. So if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. And then again, very personal to me. You've probably heard me talking about my need to go back to Greece. Greece is important to me, the beaches in Greece. And I'm going to sort of tell you a bit of what came through and sort of explain how this is referring to me. So I got a beach at night. So the like surf. So it was, it was nighttime. It was like that dark inky blue color, right? This kind of color, and it was very, very peaceful. There was no one else on the beach. All it was I felt like I was sat on the sand, and I was watching the foamy tide come up and down on the sand. So very, very peaceful, very beautiful, very serene, a little bit sad, a little bit melancholy to it as well. So then I got I Love You by Billie Eilish, which is such a beautiful song. She's saying, tell me I've been lied to, tell me it's not true. I never usually let someone see right through. I never should have said I love you, basically. It's like two people who, the song to me is like two people who have feelings for each other. They had a good friendship, and then the moment they said how they felt about each other, it's kind of spoil everything, or there was a fear of spoiling everything. So But it's very, very beautiful. Really do go and I'm almost crying now thinking about it, because there's this build up where it's like, I never should have said, but then she's singing I love you with such passion, because she really loves this person. So tell me I've been lied to, you know, tell me it was a joke, all that kind of thing. It's, I don't know, that could mean something to somebody. I feel like there was another connection there with that song. We never should have learned to fly. Okay, that was it. We never should have learned to fly. So um I was thinking to myself of a book that I wrote. I actually wrote a book. I sent it to two publishers and then lost my nerve. I do think I need to rewrite it. I do think it needs some work. And it was years ago. It's like, you know, everybody says everybody has one book in them. And it's like, this is my book. It's like I've got like a Harry Potter sized world inside me, which is very complex, very detailed. Yeah, it was still a better story than Twilight, I'll tell you that. So it was. I started writing it at the time that kind of Buffy was popular, and what else? I said Buffy and Charmed and all those kind of things. And I was reading actually a series of books called Night World by I think L.J. Smith, and they were amazing, and they were all about these people who were coming together to find the soulmates, and I thought it was very beautiful. So that was the kind of style I wanted to write in. Am I still recording? I am. So I know this is a big waffle, guys, but it's the way it came through. It felt important. It felt big, right? So whether it's big for everybody or just a message for me, I don't know. I think I need to go and write my book. Maybe you're also writing a book, right? And this is like the universe saying, come on, Libras, you've all got stories inside you, go and write these books. It could be creating a piece of art or a piece of music. It could just be like a message saying something that you did a long time ago, like even like 20 years ago. You know, some of these planets moving, sort of Saturn, Pluto, what else, like which is the other really slow moving planet, like Neptune maybe, Jupiter. Some of them move in like 20-30 year cycles, so it takes them 20 or 30 years to get around your chart. So you may be returning to something that you were doing 20 or 30 years ago. You may be picking it back up, and some of you aren't even 20 or 30 yet. So what are you doing now? You could pick up again in 20 or 30 years. So there's something to do with a big major cycle for a lot of people. I would say though, if you are about the age 17, 20, and you are doing something that you're passionate about, like writing a book, don't give up. Keep doing the thing that you're passionate about. You're going to face rejection. I think, what's her name? J.K. Rowling. I know, not necessarily the most popular person right now, but I know that she did write this masterpiece of work that was the Harry Potter series. We can all agree, I think, that it was a fantastic literary achievement, a very engaging story, very creative. So you know, we can separate that from who she is now and say that, you know, we can see them as separate things. Okay, so she wrote this brilliant book that has inspired and touched so many people. You know, it's been a major part of a lot of people's lives, and she was rejected something like 10-30 times. I think the Beatles were rejected. So you can think of these masterpieces. I'm not saying my book's going to be a masterpiece, but it's still a better story than Twilight. I'm going to keep saying that. But it's yeah, it's like, just don't give up, don't fear rejection, keep going, whatever it is for you. You don't want it to be another 20 or 30 years before you pick it up again. So anyway, what was this saying? So this beach at night is how my book starts. It starts with a girl who is sleepwalking. She's sleepwalking. She's kind of wearing an old-fashioned nightie. It's funny, I've got a bit of a silky nightie thing going on here that I'm trying to keep off camera. But she's wearing like a white kind of night dress, basically, a little bit of an old-fashioned night dress. She's a little bit believes in stories, believes in, you know, fairy tales, believes in the kind of, I don't know, beautiful stories, right? And she's a bit of a dreamer. And she's sleepwalking, and she lives in a very quaint little small British seaside town, and she leaves her house and she walks through the fields and she kind of gets caught on, I think my son's firing Nerf guns into the door, so if you hear that, just ignore it. So yeah, her dress is getting caught on brambles and things. You know, she gets a prick on her finger and cuts her hand, and she's still asleep. And she goes through the little town centre with the cobblestone streets and down to the beach. And it's like something's calling to her in her dream. It's like something's calling to her, and she's on this dark beach at night. The only lights are kind of like the church in the distance, and there's this big rocky outcrop where like if you follow the coastline around, you can see the glimmering lights of like the neighbouring town, and it's like she's being called out into the ocean. So she wades out a little bit into the ocean with a nightdress swirling around her ankles, and she's again still completely in this dream state. And she has this, with this pull, it's like she astrally projects. So her soul is pulled out of her body momentarily. She can astrally project, and she doesn't know she can do this. It's happening in this dreamlike state where she flies. She tries to fly. She tries to go to where she's being called, but the moment that her soul separates from her body, she falls unconscious. And as she falls unconscious, she falls into the icy cold ocean water, and it jerks her awake. It pulls her soul immediately back into her body. So she wakes up in complete confusion in the quite shallow water, but her nightdress is wet. It's tangling around her. She's breathing. She takes a big gasp of air. She breathes in salt water. Doesn't know what's happening. She's disorientated. She's trying to get her feet under her hands, on the, she's trying to gain some sense of balance, and the ocean knocks her over again. The waves keep knocking her down. She manages to scramble out of the ocean onto the beach, and then the story continues. I'll write it one day and you can read it. But it is about soulmates. Her soul was being called to her partner, what we'd call twin flames now. I don't know if that term was around back then, but what people call a twin flame, the person who matches your soul. So it's just so funny to me that if I show you the images that have come through, again, I have not set this up. This is the way that the cards have come out. So you've got Destiny, this dragon here that says Destiny. Just fell out of the deck as I was doing the pre-shuffle. And then Fluidity out of core with this girl coming out of the ocean. Very Venus Aphrodite-like, so perfect for you, right? The number 12 may be important, the number 15 may be important. Maybe somebody's born on the 15th of the 12th, maybe. And then this lake card underneath, which I didn't even see until I moved that. Oh no, it wasn't. I didn't fall out. Sorry. Again, tell you the truth. We're Libras. We're very, very, very honest people. Depending on your full chart. But yeah, it was on the underlying, and I was like, no way. And then I moved that, and then you saw me do it on camera. And then she's in the ocean. It's that moment of her trying to fly and then falling back and sinking into the salty depths. Again, salt water can symbolize tears, and water symbolizes emotions. So perhaps some of you have fallen into your emotions. Perhaps some of you have done that emotional work. And then, so I got the image of the beach. I was thinking about my book. I got the song I Love You by Billie Eilish, and as I was kind of thinking about it, I was like, oh my God, in it she says, I wish we'd never learned to fly. So I don't know if some of you are astrally projecting, or you have something like that. I wish we'd never learned to fly. I'm glad we can fly. I want to fly to Greece and go back to my beach and go back to the ocean. I actually wrote my book, at least the first draft of it, in kind of like a fever dream frenzy, as I was sunbathing on the beach in Greece. Yeah, everybody else was reading, I was writing. So yeah, I kept buying notebooks from the shop, like, these like almost like workbooks that you'd use for school. I just kept on buying them, and I was writing and writing and writing. So yeah, Greece has a lot of meaning to me, the beaches in Greece. What else have we got then? Yeah, so she says, I wish we'd never learned to fly. And then I saw a nautilus shell in someone's hand, very similar to the one that I've got actually. I'm not quite sure where I've put it. I did want to use it for the reading and I didn't get it ready in time. Is it there? I'll just pause and find it. There we go. I know I sound absolutely insane in today's reading, but it felt so important. So yeah, I think it was the left hand. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw this person who was sat on the beach, on the sand. Sorry, I got dust from the joss stick on my finger there. And I could see the Nautilus shell in someone's hand like this. Like, this is the image that was in my mind's eye. So somebody looking down at something in their hand. And I could see the ocean, the surf in the background. And I had this feeling like they were going to throw it in. Then I channeled, the song that came into my head was There's Only One of You by Nathan Sykes, which is, I'd put this love in a bottle and I'd go to the beach. What is it? I put this love in a bottle and I go to the beach. Something, if it's you, then it'll come back to me. And I can't believe it. It's so funny the way things play out, because as I was setting up to do the reading, I was actually on YouTube just double checking the last Libra reading that went up. And in my feed there was, I don't even follow Sky News, but sometimes I get Sky News things in my feed. And the headline was, a bottle comes back to a boy 10 years later. A message in a bottle turns up 10 years later. Was that, you can go and look it up, Sky News. So this, I saw this as I was setting up to do this reading, after I got the messages about putting your love in a bottle and throwing it away, you know. So I don't know if we're dealing with somebody returning from the past. I feel like, especially with the imagery of the bottle coming back with the Sky News thing, I feel like two people who loved each other, perhaps a long time ago, perhaps 10 years ago, maybe more. I think it was hard to get over this person, you know, with that Billie Eilish song. And I think you handed it over, you gave it to destiny. You said, if this is meant to be, then we'll come together. If it's fate, then it will happen. You know, until then, I have to throw it into the sea for now. So I feel like this happened for somebody. This is something that perhaps somebody literally did, if not metaphorically did. They handed it this almost like unwanted love. Billie Eilish says, I don't want to, like, I love you, I don't want to. It's like loving someone, knowing that perhaps they're not the right person, this isn't the right person to give it to, that, you know, knowing that it's perhaps going to mess up your relationship. So what do you do? What do you do when that happens, when you have feelings? You can't just throw them away. I don't know, I'm ranting, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But it has to be somebody's message. This is what's coming through for you. And he says, if you go and Google the lyrics to that, There's Only One of You by Nathan Sykes. And I didn't remember this when I channeled it. I just got, if it's you, it'll come back to me, right? I looked up the lyrics, and one of the first lines is, I could write a book about how much it hurt. So I think there's a message for somebody where you've been through something like this. You've been through perhaps feelings for somebody that you didn't know what to do with. You handled it, you processed it. It's like, channel this gift from the universe. Love is a gift. You know, even if it doesn't work out, even if it's not reciprocal, even if it hurts, it's a gift. The ability to love is a gift. You know, Libra's destiny is to love and be loved in return. So, you know, the ability to love, like the goddess Venus is, goddess Aphrodite, she's the goddess of love. It's destiny, it's your purpose, you know? So it's the main thing. I can't believe the song that randomized for you as well when I get to that. No, I'm going to go to it now. There was a song that randomized as I was setting up your reading. I asked for one song. I asked for the message to come through clearly, because I can feel how important this is. And the song that randomized was Religion by Lana Del Rey, which is Love is Religion, which again is a trope from classical Rome. You know, Ovid, one of my favorite authors, my favorite poets, he says love is like warfare, love is like religion. He compares it to these other, love is like slavery, all these different tropes, these literary tropes that can come through. So you know, it bonds you, but it is a gift. It is a gift. It's a creative, poetic gift. And it brings you lessons, ultimately. So use it. Use the gift. Write a book. Write a book about baseball. I don't know why that keeps coming through. And he says as well, as if that wasn't enough, that Nathan Sykes song, he says, I'm free to fly, I'm free to fly. So maybe some of you have had your COVID shots, you've got your passport. have you got your passport? Have you had your shots? You know, and you, sorry if you don't know that meme, just ignore me when I come out with random memes. Not everybody's going to get them. Maybe you're free to fly. Maybe you've got the green light. You can fly again, you know? Maybe a restriction's been lifted. I think I can go to Greece soon. Yay! Really looking forward to it. Okay, so what else do we have? Then I saw a man posing for a photo. So he was, say this was my mind's eye, you know, the screen is the image I could see. He was probably about here. Just stood facing the camera. He had I could see his upper torso. He had a yellow t-shirt on. It had some kind of print on the front, but I couldn't make that out clearly. And he was smiling, and he had quite nice, like, apple cheeks, and he had quite neat hair, like quite nicely styled hair, and he had a beard and a full beard and moustache kind of thing, very neatly trimmed though. So maybe this person was posing for a passport picture or something, but it was lovely. He came across as a nice person, so I don't know if this is somebody's person that I've picked up on, or maybe this is you. Maybe you're wearing a yellow shirt. It was a man, obviously, with a beard. And then I heard Prince of Hardshire in a very posh voice. It was like somebody was making fun of this person, saying, you're the Prince of... I don't know, it could be the same person, it could be a different person. Messages for everybody. You're the Prince of Hardshire. Hardshire. So we say shire, Cheshire, Worcestershire. So maybe it was somebody just doing a funny voice, or maybe it was somebody... I know that Americans tend to pronounce things as it's spelt, so it could be an American. Hardshire, trying to do an English accent. Then I got George is the real deal. So whether this is somebody's person is called George, maybe somebody said this, you know, thanks mate, George, you're the real deal. I don't know. But then I got Freedom by George Michael. So again, this free to fly. Freedom, I won't let you down. Obviously the name George has come through twice there. Please don't give me up, because I would really, really love to stick around. Then I saw all this random stuff that I was seeing. Then I saw Millionaire Shortbread, and I really wanted to eat it. So in the middle of the night, getting images from who knows where, I could see Millionaire Shortbread. So for those of you who don't know, it's a shortbread kind of pastry, like a cookie. So those of you, biscuit, cookie, whatever you want to call it. And then it has a layer of caramel on, and then it has a layer of chocolate. It's like a tray bake, so it gets sliced like a brownie. Millionaire Shortbread, very, very sweet, very sickly, but very tasty. I could see it like somebody like breaking bits off, it crumbling, it being really sticky, very appetizing. And really wanted Millionaire Shortbread in the middle of the night. Then I had a dream. I'm sorry, I'm nearly done now, guys. I promise we're going to pull cards in a minute. Then I had a dream, and it was actually a series of dreams. Some of them were a little bit worrying, but after kind of we left the worrying situation, I was waiting to cross the road with quite a large group of people. There was lots of children. It was like children picking up time, and we were stood there like all waiting to cross the road, very busy road, waiting for the lights to change. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the road, on like some pallets, you know, like crates or pallets, there was 3 otters. So this family of big otters, like sea otters, not little small ones, big otters, and they were all kind of like wet and slimy looking, like they'd just come out of like the water. And they were stood there, and there was kind of like the main one, there was this, like, I don't know why I knew it was like a male otter, but it was. I feel like it could have been 2 female otters like with him, who were like, you know, not egging him on, but supporting him, saying like, you know, everybody listen to what this main otter has to say. It was so funny but so cute. I wish I could like visually show you what was in my dream. And then this main otter was saying to everybody, right, stop, don't cross the road yet, it's not safe. So he wasn't speaking, but he was doing all this, like he was like squeaking like otters do and chattering, but he was saying like, he was really into what he's saying. So he was like, his little hands, he was like speaking, he was like, stop, don't cross the road, stay back, no, don't go yet. Like, and then he was like pointing up to the red and green lights and saying like, you have to wait until the lights change. And then he was like, and then and then you can go. But he was clapping, but he wasn't like clapping like applauding. He was clapping like, right, quick, 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 go, that kind of thing. So he was very enthusiastic about what he was saying, you know, like I'm doing now, gesturing with my hands. Very into what he was saying. You know, really impassioned about keeping people safe, making sure they knew how to cross the road. So cute, this otter. Well, and then these two little otters behind him, like, listen to him, he knows what he's talking about, like, pay attention. So that the whole like crowd of people waiting to cross are so like you would be if that ever happened, like so amused, everybody's smiling. The lights changed, so the otters went and the lights changed and he came back to say, right, you can go, the lights have changed. So everybody, when the lights changed and we started to go, we all did the little like, oh, hurry up, but so we were clapping like he did to say, oh, we can go now, hurry up. But we were also applauding the otter, like, we understand what you're saying, we're doing it. So there was this communication between like humans and otters who wouldn't normally be able to communicate, and there was like this signaling, right? It's signaling, I understand the signal. So oh, I think I'm done with the intuitive messages. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to pause, I'm going to drink some water, and then we'll pull you some cards and get the general messages that want to come through with the cards. So thank you for bearing with me with that very long 26-minute introduction. I'll be back in a second. I might do part 1, part 2. I don't know.